King Saul, filled with fear because the Philistines were going to attack him, looked for answers where he never should have. Find me a medium.
I know where there is one, my lord. In the village of Endor, we can find her. Who do you want me to bring up for you?
Bring me the prophet Samuel.
What do you want, Saul? Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up?
But Samuel gave him terrible news.
Tomorrow, you and your sons will be with me, and the camp of Israel will fall into the hands of the Philistines.
No, please! Meanwhile, David, who was living among the Philistines, had won the favor of King Achish.
I want you to know that you and your men will go out with me to war. From now on, I appoint you as my bodyguard.
All right, David replied. You will see what this servant of yours is capable of. Which region will we attack?
We will attack the Israelites, your people!
Oh no! My First Bible presents the death of King Saul. The Philistines declared war on Israel and gathered their troops at Aphek. The Philistine chiefs organized the army in groups of hundreds and thousands of soldiers. At the rear marched King Achish together with David and his men. David, what will we do? One of his men whispered. We cannot attack our own people. When that moment comes, we will see what to do. When the Philistine chiefs saw David and his men at the rear of the king's army, they asked, Huh? And these men? What are these Hebrews doing here? King Achish answered,
Don't you realize that this is David who served Saul, the king of Israel? He's an excellent warrior.
But the Philistine commander said, But why is David our enemy in our army? Send him away, the commanders demanded. Make him go back to the place you gave him.
He has been with me for more than a year, Achish said, and from the first day I have seen nothing that would make me distrust him.
King Achish, do not let him go with us into battle. In the middle of the fight, he could turn against us. Just think, what better gift could he bring Saul than our heads? We do not want him here. Let him leave. After this, Achish went to David, and he said to him,
The Philistine chiefs do not want you to be with us. They do not want you to go into battle. So with my best wishes, go back home. But why? What have I done? David protested. From the first day I have been with you, I have never failed you. Why won't they let me fight? You have done nothing wrong, David, Achish replied. You are an honorable man, and I would like you to come with me. However, the chiefs have decided that you should not go into battle with us. So, you and your men get up early and return home.
So the next day, David and his men returned to the land of the Philistines.
Whew, that was a close one.
For their part, the Philistines advanced to face the Israelites. On the third day, David and his men arrived at Ziklag, the city that King Achish had given him. But when they arrived, they found something terrible. The city was in flames, destroyed and looted. The Amalekites had invaded the place. And they had taken the women captive and everyone who was there. David and his men, seeing everything destroyed and realizing that they had taken their wives, sons, and daughters, all began to cry and wail until they had no strength left. No, this can't be! They had also taken David's two wives, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal. Even some men were talking about stoning him.
This is your fault, David. We should not have gone with you. Yes!
Despite everything, David took courage and put his trust in Jehovah, his God, and he said to Abiathar the priest, "Bring me the ephod." As soon as Abiathar brought the ephod, David consulted the Lord. "Should I pursue the band of raiders? Will I catch up with them?"
Yes, you will catch up with them.
The Lord answered.
You will catch up with them and rescue the captives.
Immediately, David set out with his 600 men as far as the Besor ravine. There, some stayed behind, about 200 men who were too tired to cross the ravine. So, David continued the pursuit with the remaining 400 men. On the way, David's men found an Egyptian lying in the field, almost without strength, and they took him to David. They gave him food and drink because he had gone 3 days without eating anything. As soon as the Egyptian ate, he regained his strength. "Where do you come from?" David asked. "Who do you belong to?"
I am Egyptian.
He answered.
I am the slave of an Amalekite. 3 days ago, I became sick, and my master abandoned me on the road. We had invaded Ziklag and had caused destruction in other cities.
"Where are those raiders? Will you guide us to where that band is?" David said.
I will guide you. But swear to me that you will not kill me or hand me over to my master, he pleaded. On that condition, I will take you to where they are.
All right. So, the Egyptian guided him to where the Amalekites were, and when they arrived, they found them celebrating all over the field. They were eating, drinking, and celebrating the great plunder they had taken from the territory of the Philistines and Judah. At dawn, David and his men attacked them and fought them until the evening of the next day. The only ones who managed to escape were 400 young men who fled on their camels. David was able to recover everything the Amalekites had stolen, and when they began to look for their own people, they realized that no one was missing. Their wives, their sons, and their daughters, everyone was safe. David also recovered his 2 wives. Grateful to the Lord, they all returned victorious and happy to the Besor ravine, where the 200 men who were too tired had stayed behind. They went out to meet David and his people, and David, for his part, came near to greet them. But among those who accompanied David, there were wicked and evil men who complained,
Hey, they did not fight against the Amalekites. They just stayed behind doing nothing. So none of the plunder belongs to them. Let them take their women and children and leave.
No, do not do that, my brothers, David answered. This victory comes from God. He was the one who put into our hands that band of raiders. Who is going to agree with you?
Put your hand down.
In this plunder, we all share. After this, David and his people returned to Ziklag. And he sent part of the plunder to his friends who were leaders of Judah, with a message that read, "Here is a gift from the plunder that we rescued from the enemies of the Lord." Meanwhile, at Gilboa, the battle of the Philistines against Israel had begun. The Philistines kept advancing with greater force, and Israel began to retreat. Chaos took over the field. Many soldiers fled, and many fell in battle. That day, those words were being fulfilled that Saul had heard. The Philistines pursued King Saul, but they caught up with and killed his sons, Abinadab, Malchishua, and also Jonathan, Saul's eldest son, David's best friend.
No! It cannot be!
The fighting became more intense, and the enemy archers fixed their eyes on Saul. The arrows flew through the air, and one of them struck him. Saul fell, gravely wounded, breathing with difficulty. Seeing that there was no escape, very weakly, he said to his armor-bearer,
"Draw your sword and kill me! Do not let these uncircumcised men come and kill me and mock me!"
No, I cannot do it, my king.
But his armor-bearer was so frightened that he could not do it. His hands trembled, and he could not obey. Seeing that his armor-bearer did not act, Saul understood that his end had come. Without saying anything more, he took his sword and fell on it, and he died.
King Saul?
When the armor-bearer saw that Saul had died, he also did the same and threw himself on his own sword and died alongside his king.
Oh my gosh!
That was the tragic end of Saul's reign. The Philistines displayed in their city the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons like a trophy. But some brave men from Jabesh Gilead recovered the bodies, gave them burial, and mourned for him. Despite his tragic end, Saul was the first king of Israel, chosen by God and by the people. He began as a humble man. But over time, pride and his bad decisions led him little by little to his downfall. Subscribe, comment, leave us a like, and follow us on our social media. Hey! Like in every video, it's time to say hi to our friends who commented on our posts. If you want a shout out in the next video, follow us and comment on our latest post on social media, Instagram and YouTube. But before we start, huge thanks to all our Oh My Gosh members! Alright, today's shoutouts go to Nora, Calvin, Dean, and Liam from Chiang Mai, Thailand. Excel! Zachary and Nikolai from Trinidad and Tobago. Valerie, Joshua, and Melissa from California. Amara Noel and Jaleesa Noel from Trinidad and Tobago. Deborah from the UK. Elena from America. Isaac and Ebenezer from Nigeria. Danica the Great. Ray Salo and family from the Philippines. Nalisha Francis. Mohau from South Africa. Ben Amaichi from North Carolina. Layla DeVille. Kandwani and Bupe, Zambia. From the 5B class from Yes in Seoul. Louis, Hezekiah, Carmen, and Haziel. Alyssa and Ivana from Nigeria. From the Philippines, Pangasinan. Eliana. Talia, Kaleem, Treen, and Cam from Jamaica. Austin. Paris. Abigail, Eliza, and Olivia from the UK. Why Led About My Loves. Kandwani and Bupe, Zambia. Carla Laurie. Angela Marie at Escala, Ohio. Thank you very much for all your great support.